I want to welcome everyone to the Bomb Podcast. We're live in Los Angeles, California, on Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. This week I got an exclusive episode for you guys. I'm going to do an album review on Busta Rhymes' new album, Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God. I also got a very special guest coming on the episode this week, King Crooked from Long Beach, California. For you that do not know who he is, I think he's one of the best MCs of all time. He was in the rap group Slaughterhouse. He was signed to Shady Records. He used to be signed to Death Row. It's an honor to have him on the show. I grew up listening to him. He's actually one of my favorite MCs of all time. Let's get this started. The reason why I'm playing a song from each album is because we want to see the consistency of an artist like Busta Rhymes over the years. The next album we're going to look at real quick, When Disaster Strikes. This is Busta Rhymes' second album, dropped in 1997. I really like this album as well. I think Busta Rhymes is in his prime. This is his prime, his first few years out. No one sounds like him, like I said before. No one raps like him. He's out-rapping a lot of people at this time. Let's take a look at the track list. When I look at this track list, first thing that jumps out at me, The Whole World Looking at Me. Personally, I think that's the best song on the album. I'd give that song a 9.5 out of 10 just right there. Survival Hungry, great song. Turn It Up, and then most people know this off the album, Put Your Eyes Where My Eyes Can See. Rhymes galore, really reminds me of The Whole World Looking at Me, same flow, ripping the mic the entire time. And then obviously I love the song One with Erykah Badu. I'm going to give this album an 8.7. I think that's a fair score, and I want everyone to know when I'm going on the scores, this is just for Busta Rhymes' catalog, not compared to the best album ever, just his work overall. Let's take a listen to The Whole World Looking at Me. Before we get into the new album, let's go over Busta Rhymes' career. He's one of the most consistent rappers of all time, especially in the 90s. He's dropped his debut album in 96, dropped the album in 97, 98, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2006, 2009, and he's been off for a while on his albums, comes back in 2020. Let's start with his first album, The Coming. When I think of The Coming, I think vintage Busta Rhymes. First album in the game. Nobody sounds like him. The way he raps, no one does it like that way. Let's take a look at the track list. First thing that stands out to me on this album, Do My Thing by Busta Rhymes. Personally, that's my favorite song on it. Everything Remains Raw right after that, amazing. Abandoned Ship, very good also. Who Hey, I'm sure a lot of people know that song. That might be the most popular song off of it. The Finish Line, great. Still Shining, also an amazing song. This album, I'm going to give a 9.3. I think it's a great album overall. Let's take a little listen to Do My Thing. That song's so hard. God damn. That song's hard. Hard. Next album we're going to look at, Extinction Level Event, The Final World Front. Just so everyone knows, the album he just dropped that we're going to review is the second album to this one. This was dropped in 1998. Let's take a look at the track list. When I take a look at this track list, first thing that stands out to me is This Means War. Him and Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne, obviously one of the best musicians of all time. Busta Rhymes really goes hard on that beat. That's an amazing song. Give Me Some More, a lot of people know. I think that's one of Busta Rhymes' best songs of all time. Everybody Rise, What's It Gonna Be, and I personally love What the Fuck You Want. That shit's hard as fuck. Let's take a quick listen to Give Me Some More. That's one of my favorite Busta Rhymes songs of all time. It just shows how different he is from every other artist, and I think that's why he's had such a longevity in this game. Next album we're going to look at, Anarchy, dropped in the year 2000. Take a look at this track list. First thing I notice, obviously, right off the bat, Why We Die. As soon as you see the names Jay-Z and DMX next to each other, immediately listening. Salute the Gods, amazing song. Get Out, and then The Heist, featuring Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, and Rock Marciano. Hopefully I'm saying that right. That's also an amazing song. Why We Die, also great. Overall, Anarchy's a solid album. I'm going to go 8.1 with the album. The song we're going to listen to, When We Die, featuring DMX and Jay-Z. That's an amazing song, and you should expect that when you have three of the best rappers of all time on one track. DMX, Busta Rhymes, and obviously Jay-Z, Hove. You know, he's top 5 rapper of all time. Next album we're going to view, Genesis, dropped in 2001. Let's take a look at the track list. First thing that comes to mind, Everything Rise Again. When you look at this, I love when artists do this. This is a continuation from the second track from his album, The Final World Front. I think it's a great song. Break Your Neck, obviously one of Busta Rhymes' best songs. Genesis, great song. And Ola, I like a lot too. For this album, I'm going to go 7.4. I don't think it's his best work, but I don't think it's his worst work. We're going to listen to the song Break Your Neck. That's one thing I love about Busta Rhymes, is even if it's not his best project, he still throws songs on there to let you know that he's one of the best MCs of all time. Next album, dropped in 2002, It Ain't Safe No More. Let's take a look at this track list. First thing that stands out to me here, I Know What You Want, feature Mariah Carey and Flip Mode Squad. Amazing song. Getting Mariah Carey on a feature at that time, huge deal. You gotta remember, it's 2002. What Do You Want When You're Branded, also a great song. The other song that stands out to me on this album is What Up. I'm gonna give this project a 7.6. Definitely not his best work at all. He does have a few good songs, as I said before. He's never gonna have a project without some good songs on it. Let's listen to the song I Know What You Want, feature Mariah Carey. Obviously, that's a classic song. That song's gonna bang forever. Busta Rhymes, Mariah Carey. Next album we're gonna look up by Busta Rhymes, Back on My BS, dropped in 2009. I'm gonna give this album an 8.3. I thought it was a solid project, had a bunch of good songs on it. Let's take a preview of A-Rap Money. That's gonna take us to a music break. When we come back, we're gonna have an exclusive interview with King Crooked. This is Tom Bomb Podcast on Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium.
DOA, what you thought this was? Your mom come to visit, got her dressed in scrubs. And my squad killer bees can't stop this buzz. Plus I talk more shit than a breakfast club.
Welcome back to the Tom Bomb Podcast. We're on Pop Radio Worldwide, Spotify Premium, iHeartRadio. Now we're gonna have an exclusive interview with King Crooked. Yo, Crook, what's good, big bro?
What's good, man?
Yo, I can't see your face on this shit. Oh, what's good, big bro? How you doing?
I'm alright. How you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yo, I just want to thank you personally, bro. You're one of my favorite rappers of all time. It's an honor to have you on the podcast. And I just want everyone listening to know exactly like who we are talking to. This is King Crook. He's a rapper from Long Beach, California. He was once signed to Death Row Records. He was in Slaughterhouse, signed to Shady Records. How you doing, big bro?
I'm good, man. How about yourself? You alright?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So basically on my podcast, I want it to be different because I know rappers don't like doing interviews like that, especially unless it's like an album rollout or whatever. But I just want to know, like, first, what like made you love hip hop? Like, because everyone's a fan of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially you. I follow you on Twitter. Like, you're always talking about hip hop, even what's hot. And I just want to know what made you love it and like who you personally are listening to now. Like, even if it's someone like that might surprise the people listening.
Man, I just fell in love with hip hop when I was young, man. I was a kid, and you know, my mom used to play all the old school rappers around the house. My older brother started playing all the old school jams around the house, you know, and I just fell in love with it, man. It became part of the culture. I sucked it up, you know, whether that be rapping, beatboxing, doing graffiti, every element of hip hop, I just embraced it, you know what I mean? And it's the culture, man. It's a way of life, man. And a lot of people say hip hop saved my life. It's true, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It saved a lot of lives. You know what I'm saying? So I love hip hop. I love the culture. I feel like after all these years, I'm a guardian of the culture. And yeah, man, I just want to spread it around. I want everybody to feel how I feel about it. You feel me?
100%. And I think personally, like me, a person who loves hip hop and like researches hip hop, will listen to anyone that like I think's good or has lyrics. And like for you, when I look at your career, it's one of the most interesting careers I think of any artist, especially like your longevity. Like you're still relevant at your age, and like it's just so many chapters, like just like the Death Row chapter. Like I think a lot of people don't even know that. I mean, a lot of people know. If you know hip hop, you know, but like people my age, like I'm 25, you know what I'm saying? Like I told people I was interviewing you, and they were like, they like know who you are, and then I was like, yo, did you know he was on Death Row Records? And like they have no idea. And that's the first time I heard you like on the Pac album.
Yeah, I mean, Death Row Records, man. You know, I have had a career, man. It's been crazy. You know what I mean? Death Row Records was a chapter. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? Being over there with Suge, over there with Corrupt, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, you know, Eastwood. It was dope. I mean, you know, we just trying to get it, man. Suge, I went over there. You know, I'm from Long Beach, so I was able to sit in the studio with Snoop Dogg and Tupac and people like that. You know what I mean? And the Dog Pound and Nate Dogg, rest in peace. I was able to sit around these masters and these legends when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? And soak up games. So I was blessed. So eventually, Suge was just like, you know, I was buzzing around town. He was like, yo, I want to sign Crook. He was doing time in the penitentiary. He was in Mule Creek Penitentiary in California. And I went up to the pen to go visit him. And we just basically nailed the contractual agreement right there. We went through all the terms, you know what I mean? And at this point in his sentence, he could have contact visits. So we walked around the yard a little bit. They had this little enclosed yard. We walked around it. We talked about music. We talked about business. We talked about life goals. And I said, yo, I'm going to do this. Next thing you know, I had a Death Row chain on, brand new Benz, and a new house. My life was different.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I want to know this personally because I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm a huge Slaughterhouse fan, huge Eminem fan. I want to know, I know you got signed to Shady Records, and so like Slaughterhouse did, but I just want to know how it came, like you and Eminem working together, because you are on his latest album. You ripped it on that. I'm not gonna lie, that shit's fire.
Thanks, man. Hey, thank you, bro. Yeah, you know, shout out Slaughterhouse, shout out Marshall. Yeah, man, just you know, when we came together and we created Slaughterhouse, man, well, the fans created Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't create Slaughterhouse. The fans did. You know, when that happened, we put out an album, self-titled, on a label called Koch, which is now E1, and we kind of had a feeling that M would be interested. Me and Royce. See, me and Royce, we already had a plan. Before we signed to Shady, we said, hey, man, Shady Records would be the perfect place for Slaughterhouse. So we were like, yo, let's make that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once we did the album for Koch, M bought a copy of the album, and he said that he was just blown away by the lyricism, the level of skill. And when he heard The One, which was our first single, he felt like, oh, shit, these dudes know how to go hard lyrically, but they also know how to make crossover sounding, you know, radio type vibe. You know, they could do whatever. So he called us up, man. You know, I had Paul Rosenberg call us up, and we sat down, talked to M. And the process was cool, man, because M is one of the greatest of all time. Let's not get it twisted.
100%.
And it was a cool process because, you know, we hadn't even signed all the way yet, and we were standing behind him in the Forever video. You know what I'm saying? Now, Forever, for those who go back and watch it, it's the joint with him, Kanye, Drake, Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Hype Williams did the video. If you look at him when he's rapping, we're standing right behind him. But people didn't know that because they didn't know that, you know, we were going to sign to Shady at that time. It was like a surprise. And then we actually signed our contracts when we did the 2.0 Double XL magazine cover with all of us and Eminem on the cover. That shoot, we actually signed our contracts at the shoot. And he gave us a $20 bill and was like, here you guys go, this is in advance. And everybody was like, what the fuck is this shit?
That's fucking funny, bro.
But you know, M, that's how M is. He always, you know, cracking jokes and having fun. So he give us the 20. I'm like, I'm going to take that. And I had all the guys sign it, had M sign it. And I was like, yo, this $20 bill's going to go down in history. You know what I'm saying? So, but all jokes aside, man, we signed to Shady. And, you know, working with him is just like being in the locker room with one of the greats. You know, it's like being in the NBA and you in the locker room with Kobe Bryant. You in the locker room with Magic Johnson. You in the locker room with Larry Bird or Michael Jordan. You know, he definitely respects the skill level, but the things that he was able to teach us as far as, you know, him going to different levels in his career was very valuable to us. You know what I mean? It's great, man. You know, I got nothing but good things to say about my homie Marshall, man.
For sure. And I want to ask you this personally. I see you do it on Instagram. Like, I've been in it myself. How you do, like, is it on Thursday or Tuesday? The sober live you do.
I usually do it on Saturdays, but I just pick any day. Like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Actually, man, we're gonna have Sober House Sunday. You know, so everybody, man, get ready for Sober House Sunday. Let's get in there, talk, exchange some good vibes, listen to some stories, inspire each other, support each other, you know, that type of good thing.
And I think that's really inspiring for, like, people. Like, obviously, like, when I know you, like, you're, like, one of my favorite rappers, you know what I'm saying? But then when, like, I see you on that live and then, like, you bring others in, it makes it, like, more of, like, I guess for people that aren't famous, like, more of, like, a human experience, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I'm in recovery myself, so, like, every time I see that on, bro, like, I'm at work right now. I'm working in a sober living right now while I'm doing this. So,
oh, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations on that. That's dope. Listen, man, they try to leave us out, man. I've been sober for, like, 4 years. It's a change now.
Congratulations.
You know It'll be 5 years in February, so almost 4.5 years. And they try to leave us out of hip-hop sometimes, you know what I mean? Because hip-hop is all about popping the pills and smoking weed and drinking, and you know, it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I mean, I'm not judging. I'm not mad. I'm just saying that's what it is. And sometimes I start feeling like, hey, man, the sober community in hip hop, we got to pay attention to that community. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because they represent, they support, and you know what I'm saying. We need to support them and what they're doing. So, boom, Sober House, man. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to do it tomorrow because it's been a minute since I've done it. I've been so busy, but I told the people on Twitter I was gonna do it tomorrow. I gotta be a man of my word and get it cracking, you know.
100%. I'm gonna definitely be in there myself. And the last thing I want to ask you about, bro, the album you dropped with Joel Ortiz, Hard.
Yes, sir.
Bro, like the only thing I know what to say about it is the name of the album. That shit's hard, bro.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. And by the way, man. You work at a sober living house?
I'm in LA, bro, in a sober living house right now.
That's dope, man. You know what I'm saying, dog? I like to visit some of those sometime, man, in the future when this COVID, you know, goes away, man. I like to come through and talk to people, man, and just share some of my stories with people, man. Yeah, that's dope. But Hard, man. Housing Authority Rap District, man. Like, for people, like, what is that acronym? So what it is, you know, housing authority is like low-income housing. Like, when you're poor or you raised in poverty or whatnot, you live in a low-income part of the community. But the low-income part got a lot of love there. It's a lot of good things there. It's a lot of rawness and a lot of realness and a lot of truth. So, you know, when you get done popping bottles and riding on yachts with all the other rappers, you know what I mean? You make a stop into the Housing Authority Rap District. That's me and Joel. You're going to hear the gutter, the grimy, you know what I mean? The wordplay, the syllable flow, the metaphors, the similes, the punchlines, the boom bap beats, the hard beats, all that, man. So, yeah, it was just a great experience, you know, bringing that vision to life. And like I always say, man, Fred the Godson, rest in peace. Fred the Godson was at the lab for almost every single day that we recorded that album, and he passed away after getting the coronavirus, COVID-19. So people, please believe it's real out there. I know it's a lot of conspiracies. I know some of these doctors are lying about who got it and who don't. I know it's a lot of government agendas, but the virus is real. And, you know, Fred, rest his soul. He was there, and that project will always be special to me and to Joel because Fred was in the building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
That project just with his presence, man. So yeah, man, Hard. Everybody go get that so we can make a part 2 one day.
100%. And I just wanted to talk about the song on it. This is my favorite song on it. And I love how you and Joel did this, where it goes from New York to like Long Beach, you know what I'm saying? Bro, when I first heard Caddy Bump and just the flow on it at first, like I was in my car, I just threw it on shuffle. I'm driving, and like for like 10 seconds I had to rewind it. I was like, yo, is Snoop Dogg on this shit? You know? and then I played it and I was like, no, like this is just you. And I was like, yo, this shit's hard, and it's like it represents Long Beach so well.
Man, thank you, my brother. Yeah, man, Illmind did that joint, man. You know, I had to take him to Cali, man. I was a little homesick. We recorded in the Heatmaker studio where they do all the Dipset music. You know what I'm saying? And it was real East Coast, real New York. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm feeling homesick. And when I heard that beat that Illmind had, I was like, yo, let's take him to the West Coast one time. You know what I mean?
For real.
And we did Wolves for Brooklyn, and it was just dope, man. I love rapping with my guy Joel Ortiz, man. Shout out to him. We'll probably do another hard. We'll probably do another one. Yeah.
And I just want everyone on the podcast listening to check your shit out. Also, Crook's Corner. I love that, man. Seeing you and... I mean, I watched the one with you and M, obviously, but I've watched other ones, like... And just seeing two artists sit down together and, like, discuss hip-hop. And, like, even when you and M were talking about, like, how the lyrics are, like... If you look at them on a piece of paper, like, just the metaphors and shit, it's just, like... It's just insane to someone like me how, like, you guys can even, like, produce that. And then, like, maybe not so much M, but, like, you yourself. Like, I don't know how you're not, like, one of the biggest artists, like, of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, listen. As long as people like you keep supporting me, I'm good. As long as, you know, they come out with these lists, they try to leave me off. And then, you know... Marshall comes with his list and he puts me on there. Because,
I saw that.
You know, it's because we understand what it takes to do what I do and what it takes to do what he does. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we gotta leave the list making to people like Marshall. To let the GOATs make the list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's just iller. That's way better. They know this game. They know the technical parts of rapping and writing and all that, delivery and performance. Like M has seen me on every level. He understands that, you know, oh yeah, that's one of them ones, and I appreciate it because it opens doors, you know, for other people to understand what I'm doing. Because sometimes you're ahead of your time, sometimes you're right on time. I mean, being from the West, my brother, it's not easy for super lyricists, you know what I mean? Because everybody wants, you know, they're just very used to a more simplistic, easy to digest rap style. They're used to it, you know? So when I've always been fighting against that, you know what I mean? Like, yo, not everybody raps the same over here, you know what I mean? But it's been a great career, man. I'm in the war room right now. I got the greats looking over me, you know what I'm saying?
It's so sick. Yeah.
Man, you know what I mean? I'm lounging. You know, we might bring some of this back. You feel me?
Oh my God.
And get it cracking. But nah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you having this platform for real rappers to come through and holler. It's dope.
I appreciate that, bro, and I appreciate you so much coming on the podcast. This is a dream come true for me, bro, to even have you on. And I'll definitely send you my info after this, and I'll send you the DM, especially when the corona's over. I'm in LA. I'm not far from Long Beach, so like I would love to have you come through and share your story and help others.
That'd be dope. Yeah, do that for sure, my brother.
I appreciate.
And keep going, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. Let me know where this airs, where it's gonna be at, whatever. I'll shoot the link. You know, I'll shoot it to Marshall and Royce and them too. You know, so they can check it out.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, without a doubt, my brother. You be good, man. Peace.
Yo, you too, brother.
Alrighty. Outro.
I want to personally thank King Crooked for coming on the show. It was a dream come true. He's one of my favorite rappers of all time. I've been listening to him for over 10 years. That's going to do it for us. Going to take us to our next music break. This is a Bomb Podcast on Pop Radio Worldwide, Spotify Premium, and iHeartRadio.
I never had a deal, but my name gon' pop. I've been underground like a subway stop, and I've been getting bread like a subway shop. I got it off of you and sell it back, pawn shop. Whoa.
Welcome back to the Bomb Podcast. We're on Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeart Radio, and Spotify Premium. It's time to review the new Busta Rhymes album. Extension Level Event 2, The Wrath of God. Let's take a look at the track list. Wait, before I pull this track list up, I just want to say I've been waiting for this album for over 10 years. It's been 11 years since he's dropped, so I have huge expectations for this album. He needs to put a complete project together to staple his legacy. Let's take a look now. First thing that jumps off the screen to me, any intro I see with Chris Rock on it, I'm playing immediately. So, Chris Rock was on the Rick Ross album, that intro, right before he dissed Birdman. Amazing intro. This intro should be amazing. Also, Rakim's on it, Pete Rock, also legends in this hip-hop game. So that's a good sign when I look at the track list when this album drops. Second thing, Slow Flow featuring Old Dirty Bastard. Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace, legend from Wu-Tang Clan, also New York legend. I'm curious to see how long he's had this verse because he has been dead for a decent amount of time now. And him and Busta Rhymes were cool before he passed away. Calm Down featuring Eminem. That was released before the deluxe came out and even before his album came out. We're going to review that, obviously. Two of the best rappers of all time on one track. And then Look Over Your Shoulder featuring Kendrick Lamar. This is the only feature of 2020 that we've gotten from Kendrick Lamar. So I'm excited to hear that. And let's get into the music. First song we're going to review off the album is the intro, featuring Chris Rock, Rakim, and Pete Rock. This album intro is fucking amazing. Chris Rock doing exactly what you want him to do on it, talking so much shit, and as soon as Busta hits the track, rips it so hard. Pete Rock does his thing, Rakim does his thing. I know you guys can't hear that. I can't play that long of the song. YouTube copyright bullshit. Fuck them, but amazing intro. This is one of the best intros I've actually heard in a long time. I'm going to give this a 9.7, and that's a high score, but this is an amazing intro. We're just going to keep going down the album right now. We're going to play song 2, The Purge. Personally, I don't think this song's great, but I do like the message behind it, especially with what the world's going through. But, I mean, I'm not going to add this onto my playlist, and I'm definitely not going to have it on repeat anywhere. I'm going to give this song a 6.8. The next song we're going to review on the album is track 5, Out of My Mind. I had to cut that shit short. You're telling me you have 11 years to drop an album, and that shit even touches your track list? Fucking garbage. This is the lowest score I'm ever going to give. 3.9. Fucking trash song. Let's move on to the next one. The next song we're going to review, I'm really excited for. Busta Rhymes and Old Dirty Bastard, two of the best rappers to ever do it. Rest in peace, ODB. The name of the song is Slow Flow. This is an amazing song. Reached all my expectations when I seen them on a track together. Once again, rest in peace, OBD. I'm going to go 9.2. The beat's fucking insane. Sounds like you're in a video game. Old Dirty Bastard, obviously not going to miss. Busta Rhymes, whew, smoked that beat. 9.2. Let's move on to the next song. Next song we're going to review is Best I Can. Busta Rhymes featuring Rhapsody. I'm really excited for this one. I've been talking about Rhapsody a lot in this show. I think she has one of the best pens in the game. And I have her out-rapping a lot of people, male or female. I love the combination when I saw this song on the track list. I think both of these artists are some of the best people behind the pen in the whole game. Great song. I enjoy the song. It's a really deep song, which, it's not a bunch of bullshit. I'll give it 8.7. Let's move on to the next song. The last song we're going to review on this album is Look Over Your Shoulder by Busta Rhymes and Kendrick Lamar. This is the most highly anticipated song for myself. When I saw the track list, Kendrick Lamar has no features this whole year. Let's listen to the track. This, without question, is the best song on the album. 9.8. This song went immediately on my playlist. Still listen to it at least once, maybe twice a day. Overall, really good album. I also want to touch on these songs that we didn't get to touch on. You featuring Anderson .Paak. Where I Belong featuring Mariah Carey. Brought her back. I know we talked about it earlier in the show. You Will Never Find Another Me featuring Mary J. Blige. Amazing song. This was a really good album. I'm going to give this album a 9.1. Great album by Busta Rhymes. some people might not think it's his best, but for him being out of dropping an album for 11 years, I think it's an amazing project. I have it on shuffle multiple times a day, and this was a very solid project. That's going to bring us to the end of the show this week. I want to shout out to all my supporters. I want to shout out Dion. He was on the commercials. Go follow the Great Gatsby 09 on Instagram right now. Shout out to King Crooked for coming on the show. Once again, an honor to have him on. This is the Bomb Podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium, and Pop Radio Worldwide.
Where I'm from, I'm about my chips popping out, call me Pringles, and I got a stripper flow, you can pay me in all singles.